Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Bassett. I hope you and your family are doing well. I miss seeing you at school. I miss seeing you in the hallways. I miss seeing you at recess and in the classroom. I wish we could be at school together. However, that is not possible. So we will do the best we can to make sure that you continue to learn. I know Miss Simpleman shared with you last week that Miss Bone and Miss Collins will be sharing math lessons, while Miss Simpleman and myself will be sharing reading. Also, Miss Simpleman mentioned that we will be covering weather and climate. The question that we will be focusing on for this unit is, how can understanding weather patterns help us protect communities from weather hazards? This is similar to what we did with the animal unit. We had a question that we focused on throughout the unit, did some research to answer the question. So we are going to be doing something similar with the weather and climate unit. The assignment you will have after watching the slideshow and the video that will also be in Google Classroom is to come up with 2 facts or 2 things that you've learned from either the slides that I shared and or the video. I want you to make sure that your sentences are complete thoughts. You have a capital letter at the beginning, punctuation at the end, and that the paragraph or sentences that you shared, that the spelling is correct to the best of your ability. All right, to begin, weather and climate. We will learn about this topic by reading articles and writing our ideas. Before we do that, let's learn some of the important vocabulary we will need to know. Weather. Weather is what the air outside is like. Is it warm outside? Is it cold outside? If you ask these questions, you are talking about weather. Look outside. What is the weather like today? Today the weather is cloudy, sunny, rainy, partly cloudy, windy, stormy, snowing, and the temperature. In Michigan, sometimes we can see several of these different types of weather in one day. We could look out, it could be sunny. And we could look out, it could be rainy. When talking about or learning about weather, the temperature is important too. To measure the temperature, we use a thermometer. In the summer, we notice that the temperature can get very hot. And in the winter, the temperature can get very cold. Thermometers in the pictures measure the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. One picture you can see that very hot could be 93 degrees Fahrenheit. Another picture, you can see that it could be very cold at 16 degrees Fahrenheit. In Michigan, we have had temperatures that have been below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Meteorologist. A meteorologist is a scientist who studies weather, conditions, and patterns. Conditions, what the weather is right now. Cold, rainy, warm, sunny. Patterns, what the weather will be like for a longer time. To the left, you can see a picture of a meteorologist showing other scientists what she is studying about the weather. And to the right, this is Derek Kebra, a local weatherman on the news. To become a weatherman, he studied to be a meteorologist. A fun fact about this individual is that he went to Livonia Public Schools, just like you. Meteorologists tell us the weather forecast. And you can see this is a 7-day forecast. You can share what the high temperature is expected to be, what the low temperature is expected to be, and you can see if it's going to be cloudy, partly cloudy, mostly sunny. This is a forecast that we look at to kind of plan for the week ahead. However, the forecast can change. To make the forecast, meteorologists make predictions or guesses from the weather patterns about what the weather will be like. So you can see here, this meteorologist is using a screen which shows weather patterns that are occurring throughout the United States. Pretend you are a meteorologist. What has the weather been like the last few days? What prediction can you make about the weather forecast for this week? Try to predict the temperature too. If you look here, this is a chart where you could actually indicate what you think the forecast would be. You could think about what season it is. We have winter, spring, summer, and fall. We are currently in spring. However, sometimes living in Michigan, the weather doesn't always match the season that we're in. For example, a few weeks ago in April, it was snowing, and April is considered a spring month. So sometimes the predictions you make about the forecast for the week may not always be true. Try to predict the temperature too. Meteorologists use different instruments or tools to study the weather. They have a weather vane, and in the center you can see a thermometer, weather satellite, computer. The weather satellite is something that is more modern technology in regards to finding out what the weather forecast could be like. The meteorologists can use the weather satellites to make predictions about the future forecast, as well as using the other tools that are on the screen. Weather instruments help meteorologists to measure things about the weather. The information they learn is called data. In math, all of you have learned about data. We have collected data, we have graphed data using different types of graphs and charts. Weather instruments and meteorologists measure things about the weather using data as well. So you can see that what is the average temperature in Michigan each month? This line graph can show you the highs and the lows. And you can see to the left, they're measuring the degrees in Fahrenheit. And at the bottom, they have the month. To the right, how much snow did we get in the winter of 2013, 2014? This map here indicates by using colors to represent how many inches of snow fell in certain locations. Would you like to keep track of or monitor weather data to help you with your weather forecast predictions? If we monitor or keep track of the weather for just a few days, this would be called short term. But if we monitor the data for months or years, it would be considered long-term data. The chart to the right is a bar graph. This is something you're familiar with because we have done that type of graph in math. To the right, you can see a line graph. Okay, we've done that as well. You can see the bar graph is representing the number of days. It was sunny, rainy, cloudy, or windy. The line graph is temperatures in the days, and they're measuring the high temperature and low temperature. Okay. Remember, after you watch the slideshow that I just presented and view the video, please respond in Google Classroom what 2 things or 2 facts that you have learned about the slides that I shared and or the video that you watched. Please make sure that you write your sentences with a capital letter, period, that it's a complete thought, and check your spelling. Have a great day, boys and girls.